In this video I'll be showing you how to create a retro gaming system with Ubuntu. So this is setting up a variety of emulators, mainly using the Libretro RetroArch emulators, and using the Emulation Station front end. So this is kind of similar to what you would get with the Raspberry Pi distro RetroPie. But what I found with the Raspberry Pi, it doesn't quite keep up with even the Super Nintendo, Mega Drive or Genesis era of games consoles. So using full-blown Ubuntu on an x86 or x86 64-bit system, you'll have it running a whole lot faster and probably a bit more accurate on the emulation. Well, to give you a little preview of what you end up with, let me fire up my PlayStation 3 Bluetooth connection. There'll be a link to that video in the description below. Qt6a is the application. Open another tab and fire up Emulation Station. So you've got the systems here you can scroll through and some fancy artwork at the back. And then you can select the system and scroll through the list of games. And for some of them you get the information about it there, so yeah, it's all good. And then you can launch the game from here. So that is what we'll be setting up. Here is a guide that I've written, and there'll be a link to that in the video description. So first off, we'll be installing Libretro. That's RetroArch with a selection of emulators. And they call them cores instead of emulators, because each of these are actually emulators on their own. So like Stella and SNES 9X are emulators on their own, and you can install them. But combining them through RetroArch, you get the consistent controls on the joypad and consistent save state and close buttons. Kind of makes things a bit easier. So you follow the instructions there on adding a repository and installing the RetroArch and cores. So I've already done that part. So just to launch it and have a quick look at it. So it showed you some of the basic controls. Now you'll notice that for navigating through the menus, it is the X key instead of Enter. So yeah, X, that's okay. So core selection, it shows you all those that I've got installed. To point out another couple of things you might need, the joypad setup, settings, then input. And then you can scroll down to the user. Then you can scroll down to the user that you want to change. So like user 1, button B, button Y. There you are. It lays it out like an old Super Nintendo joypad. Another couple of settings we'll take a look at. That's the video settings. Getting your choice on here what you want to set. So that's setting the resolution and being full screen mode. I'm not sure what a font has just messed up in this VirtualBox, but anyway, carrying on with this. I provided a config file for RetroArch if you want it. So you can download that from a website, and you need to unzip it and put it in the location there, which would be your home folder, .config, and then RetroArch. So just unzip that. Where's it gone? There. So cut. Show the hidden folders. Go to .config. Then paste it there. Next, Sega 32X. Sega 32X, which will be Kega Fusion. That font is ridiculous. Hang on one moment, I'm going to reboot this again. I'm not sure why I did that. I know it had a crash when I was running RetroArch, which is hardly surprising because I'm running in VirtualBox. Architecture. I've spelled architecture wrong, haven't I? Architecture. So to get rid of those errors on the packages, so sudo apt get install-f resolves the dependencies that it needed. Although it looks like something has changed in Ubuntu 14.10, you can no longer do that. So let's skip a bit of fault finding and go straight for opening it in the Software Center, which works absolutely fine. Yes, install it. Don't mind the fact it's the wrong architecture. It's 32-bit only. That's the problem. So did it work or not then? Apparently it did. There you go. So with Ubuntu you can just open it in the software center then. Really. Funny, that's not how it worked last time I've tried it. PlayStation 1 emulator, PC SX1 reloaded. That's nice and easy. It's in the software center. PC SX2, the PlayStation 2 emulator. Add a repository for that. And then you can install it. So that covers the installation of all the emulators. Now the way I've set up the system here is using a folder under your home folder called console games. Then I've put each system in its own individual folder. So now to install Emulation Station. So I had to no, it's not going to work yet because I've missed the apt get update there. Okay. Right, now to run Emulation Station. This is great. This is a really fun system. Totally obscure. So you have to set up the system configuration for this. So show the hidden folders in Emulation Station. It's essystems.config. Why are you opening it in Firefox? Sod off. Open with gedit. That'll do. So it does provide you a bit of help to get you started. The basic layout of it is that you provide the system name, full name you want to give it, the location of where you have the ROM files, the extension of ROM files, the command to run the application, including %ROM%. Right, and the last two, platform and theme, are just for the sort of naming and the theme to load. So for example, this lot. So I could take a copy of that and just paste all that in, save it. Now I'll try and run it. Oh, wrong close button, I want that one. Emulation Station. Can't find any systems, check your paths are correct. Good point, those file paths don't actually exist. So make sure the file paths exist if you're going to do that. As with the Libretro RetroArch, I have provided my configuration file for it, so you can use that, download a copy, unzip and then write it to this .emulation station folder. So I'm just going to replace it. So emulation station, just extract that there. But I know once again it will come up with the error message. Yeah, fair enough, whatever. But that is how to get Emulation Station working, because it will work. So I'll show you if I go over here to my main system where I have got all those paths. Emulation Station works absolutely fine. A quick look at some of the configuration options in Emulation Station. So we've got the input, so that's remapping the joypad. User interface settings, yeah, kind of leave everything as is here. Sound settings, again, you can leave that. The scraper. So there's a couple of scrapers you can use. So let's say we're trying to use the games DB and go into scrape now. Filter only missing systems, yeah. Go for it. Start. And it go through the games and direct Emulation Station to what the game actually is. So yeah, that's Aero Fighters. This needs Aladdin, yeah. And so on and so on. But quite a few times you will get this. So apparently Alien 3 does not actually exist. So I can go down to skip or input a name. But no, I'm just going to skip it. Depending on the size of your library, this could take quite a while. How do you not know what Defender is? Come on. F-Zero, come on, that was a popular game. It's ridiculous. Prince of Persia, yes. So that was how to create a retro gaming system with Ubuntu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.